So in this video, we're going to talk about how we got started online and went from zero experience.
Zero to hero.
Well, something like that.
Not quite
but
hero.
We increased our prices, from $20 to $1,000 and learned to close sales over the phone with zero pressure.
We raised our prices from $50 to $495. And the first time that client bought, and just like, how do we get to that point? We charge $20,000 for a sales funnel.
That's right.
In this video, we're gonna tell you how we got started online.
No, that's not what we're gonna tell you.
In this video, we're gonna tell you something really stupid.
Ow.
There's mints down here.
I saw that. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I went from zero experience making money online.
Oh, man.
Really?
I was gonna put it in your mouth with your mouth. Did you get it? Off my chin.
Like I'm at a frat party.
How many? Did you have to do that frat parties? Tell me about these. Tell me about these frat parties that you went to.
Like,
Hold on.
college stuff.
Okay, so you went to a party where you had to share lifesavers with random strangers, friends,
Aw.
strangers. I said friends. You said no. Tell me about this party. I'm gonna be quiet. I want to hear about this frat party that I've never heard in the last. How many years have we known each other?
No, not a frat party. It's a college
15
party.
years. Okay.
No, not right now.
So you've done this before. I don't think we can do a video with mints in our mouth. Let's not get those mixed up.
I did
Your
mine.
frat mouth, your frat parties. Okay, go ahead.
So in this video, we're going to talk about how we got started online and went from zero experience.
Zero to hero.
Well, something like that.
Not quite
But
hero.
we increased our prices, from $20 to $1,000 and learned to close sales over the phone with zero pressure whatsoever put on the clients.
When you get started on Fiverr, you have zero reviews. The only incentive people have to work with you is if your prices are really low. So until we were probably level 1 or 2, so for the first month, we did all our sales funnels for like $20. It was really cheap. And we worked with the best people in the world. When your prices are that low, people expect the world. You would not even believe it.
It is really funny, actually.
Yeah.
Man.
Go ahead.
I mean, we've had bad clients all the way through, I guess. But yeah, there's a few in particular I can think of from the very beginning when, we were barely charging anything, would put in hours of time on people's funnels, and they would just be so rude and nasty to us. They'd expect us to write customer service for them and be their tech support, and just all these things were totally outside the scope of what they'd pay $20 for.
Yeah, like I just earned like $3 an hour working on this. Like back off a little bit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had a dream where we had increased our prices, and I told Christy when I woke up, I was like, I had a dream we were charging instead of, I think the highest was 95, right?
Yeah, for quite a while.
It was the highest was 95. I was like, I had a dream we were charging like $295, and she's like, or $395. What was it?
It's hard to remember because I know we played around with the numbers and it was scary. So we might have eased into it at $295 and then worked up higher. Because even at the low prices, you would get people, who say like they'd gotten something done at $20 before, and then once we cautiously worked our way up to $50, they'd come back to get extra work done, and they would kick and scream because we went up to $50.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, I thought your prices were reasonable before, but that's too much. And you're like, okay, maybe,
Well,
and, you know, and it
firstly-
makes you question like, well, you know, maybe I shouldn't be raising
Yeah.
my prices. And so it was very scary to take that leap then to going to several $100s for a funnel. And trying to think, I don't know that we were doing calls yet then. It was still mostly through the chat on Fiverr, and I was very tentative to tell people what the price was, even though they could see it listed on the gig. You know, it was very scary to put that out there the first few times until somebody actually paid it, and they're like, look at this, he bought it. The time I specifically remember getting super excited about that was like $4.95.
Oh yeah.
So it was $500, and that was a huge deal.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
wow. And that wasn't the Adam guy, was it? Was Adam the first one?
No.
That was a bad client. We've only had a handful. But okay, tell me about we raised our prices from $50 to $495, and the first time that client bought, and just like, how do we get to that point?
You know, I think some of it was having a portfolio, you know,
Yeah.
being able to both of work that we've done and reviews.
So if you want to
saying
see your
that we
fingers
were-
on the screen, you
I
gotta
know.
back it up a little
So
bit.
we had a portfolio, you know, showing that we could do the work, and then we had a lot of good reviews that we started building up. We did work our way up through the levels on Fiverr.
So we're
At
probably
that
level
point, we were
2?
either level 1 or 2. Yeah, probably 2. We increased our prices that much.
Level
you know,
2 is the higher level, right?
Yeah, level 2's it's
It's a little
good.
confusing.
It is a little bit.
It's like you can't go to a level 3 or 4.
No.
You're either level 1 or 2.
You're level 1, 2, or then top rated. But, so, you know, I think those things both gave us more confidence, and they give the buyer confidence that, hey, these people actually know what they're doing, they do deliver. And so we got that. And as our prices increased then, I did need to start doing phone calls with people to talk them through the process. You know, it's a lot more.
I think people expect a little bit more when they're
Right.
paying a little bit
They
more.
expect more
you know?
customer service, more one-on-one attention, and
Yeah.
you know, they need to be a little bit more certain about what they're doing. $20 if they bought it and I didn't make a great funnel, that's not a huge deal for them. But $5.
No, it's not a huge loss.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still a great deal. It's still a great deal, but it's not a huge loss. I
Yes.
think it was.
But you know, 500 or something, they want to be really certain that this is the right step for them, for their business and everything. And you're also working with a new set of people who are more professional, who are used to a world of doing consultations and Skype calls and things to make things happen more quickly,
Yeah.
rather than bouncing back and forth through chat.
And one thing that Christy heard over and over again from the clients that she spoke with was the reason that they chose to work with us is because the video that she was in on Fiverr.
Hi, I'm Christy. I'm the #1 funnel hacker on Fiverr. I can turn more of your site traffic into more sales and more revenue than anyone.
So they saw the video, they heard her, they talked to her. It was the same person.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fake video. You know, it wasn't a fake video. And they're like, "Wow, right? What were some of the reactions
I've
that people
occasionally
had?
had people like, I prefer to do audio calls, but occasionally we do a video call and they go, oh look, it's the glasses, like it really is you. Sorry, I'm not supposed to clap on the
It's right.
video. But yeah, I think there was that reassurance. One, the video helped a lot, just on its own, you know, even without a call, a video made a big difference for them.
Of you,
to
a
see
video of yourself.
a video of me talking about my service.
Yeah, and because before we shot the video here. Actually, we shot it at the house, but with the green screen. But before the video, I had made some stupid little screen recording video
Right.
that had like screenshots and stupid 3D text. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And then we met someone who makes videos for a living. It's like, no, we're gonna write you out a script. It's one page. You're gonna read this off a teleprompter. And that's exactly what we did. And that video skyrocketed our sales.
Yeah, I mean, a year and a half later, like that's still one of
Yeah.
the reasons people tell me they liked the video. They liked seeing me. I was a real person. I spoke good English. You know, I was persuasive with the script and everything, and they trusted me. So that made a huge difference. And then, yeah, once I got people on the phone and I could really answer their questions, that helped a lot. And
What are some questions? Just going off real quick, what are some questions that clients have for you? What are some of the most common questions people have?
So we build funnels, and so, I will get people who are, they obviously know something about, they want a funnel, they know it can help them get more leads, it can help them get more sales, but they might not be sure exactly what it is or how to set it up for their business. So, that's a very common question is, hey, I want to accomplish this goal, but what pages do I actually need in a funnel? How do I make that work? That's really the main thing. A lot of clients.
What's like? I guess what are your top 3 questions that you get? What kind of funnel do I need?
What kind of funnel do I need? What do I need to provide in order for you?
What do you need from me?
Yeah. What do you need from me? Exactly. They want to know what, how much work are they going to have to put in? What do they need to have ready in order for me to get started? And then I'm trying to think what else people ask most often.
Has anyone come back to you on the prices over the phone?
Over the phone, yes.
And how do you respond to that?
It has been very rare. I can think of one guy in particular who asked if he could pay me 50% up front and then 50% once the funnel started converting. And I had to kind of pause and compose myself for a minute. And I was like, no, that's not fair because I'm doing 100% of the work. That's not going to work for me. And I'm trying to think.
And you're very non-confrontational.
I absolutely.
Time out for a second. I just want to make sure it's clear.
Yeah, so I am super non-confrontational with people. If anybody does give me a hard time, or usually by the time I get people on the phone, I don't get pushback from them. I try as often as possible in chat ahead of time to tell them what the price is, because I don't want there to be any surprises, and I want to vet people before I give them my time one-on-one. So for red flags for clients, I try.
If you don't know what a red flag is, it's just kind of it's a warning sign from a potential bad client, someone who's not professional, maybe someone who isn't planning on paying you, or is going to be someone that's difficult to work with.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I miss the red flags, and oftentimes I can, just right off the top of my head, you can edit this out, it's okay. But there's a client I'm working with right now, and I didn't realize there were red flags ahead of time particularly, but he's kind of being really annoying and controlling and demanding, and wants me to check in every second and tell him what I'm doing, and I don't particularly like to work that way, and I don't like that sense that I owe
he's
him.
Not paying you by the hour either.
No.
It's a project rate. Yeah.
And so I hadn't really, I thought our communication had been fine up until now, but then I did go back and read, and I saw somewhere where he got antsy at the very beginning because I didn't respond to a message right away, and he wrote me some message about oh, I guess maybe you take weekends off, which is great, that's what I do too, but if you could get back to me on Monday, please. And going back and rereading that, I was like, oh, right there is when I could have picked it up. And it's not awful, it's maybe not oh, I shouldn't have worked with him. But it could have prepared me a little bit more maybe for how to deal with them. So anyhow, for me personally, things like that are a red flag when people are very demanding, especially before we've even gotten started with a project. They're demanding of my time. We've had people who get very upset if we don't write back on the chat on Fiverr right away. They're like, well, if this is the kind of service I'm gonna get, blah, blah, and she's like, I'm sorry, I have clients, I have a life, I have a lot going on. So people aren't respectful.
How do you respond to that'd be a good little tip for people. How do you respond to demanding clients?
I mean, if they aren't a client yet, honestly, for the most part, I will shut them down. I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry, I'm not able to help you right now, because for me, I would prefer to not have that experience, because there's just gonna be times where the money is not worth the pain of dealing with that person. Or
And that's the thing about entrepreneurship and being a freelancer is really you have the ability to pick and choose who you want to work with. And if you're not taking advantage of that, then you're letting everyone walk all over
yes,
you.
exactly. And that's something I really had to learn. You know, one, you want to make money. You know, it's very hard to turn down potential clients. But two, again, going back to the non-confrontational, I've had to learn to stand up for myself a little bit. And, you know, for something like the respecting your time, you know, maybe it is just saying like, hey, yeah, I do take weekends off to be with my family. You know, this is what you can expect from me in terms of communication. You know, so you can try to learn from your...
We did kind of initiate that within the requirements on Fiverr.
People have to mark off that they know we take
So like,
weekends to be
hey,
with our family.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you can do within the requirements when after people buy, they can check off like that they understand that your hours are what they are.
And if you're working off Fiverr, you know, just have a message, you know, maybe even in your proposal or your contract, or certainly once you get started, that just kind of sets some expectations and guidelines. So, you know, if people overstep that, you can go back and say, hey, remember I did tell you up front, you know, this is how you can expect me to communicate. And I've lived up to that.
So tell me about...
I didn't even get to the red flags. So one is, not respecting my time, because then they probably just don't respect you in general. You know, there are people who think that you're their servant because they've given you money to do a job for them. They don't see you as an expert. They don't see you as somebody trying to help grow their business.
Yeah.
And if you get that sense at all, I would shut that down definitely. And
when you shut it down, just be respectful and professional.
Yeah.
Say, I hope you find...
Right, exactly. I'm so sorry. You know, this is not going to work for my schedule right now. I can't take this project. You know, however you word it. I wish you all the best.
There are scripts that you can look for.
Yeah. So I would certainly never be rude to anybody, but don't waste your time with somebody once you get that sense. And just one more red flag off the top of my head is the people who do question your price, and it's not that they say, ooh, that's a little high, I'm gonna... Like, there's people who can acknowledge that your price is high, but fair, you know, and reasonable, and...
I don't think people see your hands.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who are, you know, who give you that feeling like, whoa, you were charging way too much, I don't believe what you do is worth that. And those are the people that you don't want to work with, because if they don't see what you're doing before you build it or before you do that work,
they don't see your value
in it. They will not see the value once it's completed. You will build it, you can do your best work for them, and you will deliver it, and they'll be like, I wanted more. That's not up to my expectations. It doesn't matter what you do, like whatever they have said in their mind, you know, that they've paid this exorbitant rate and they expect the world for it, you're not going to be able to live up to that, so they're not worth it.
So the final question I have for you is, how can people viewing this right now increase their prices tenfold or 20-fold, and how do you internally shift from how much value you provided at $25 or $50 to $1,000 or $5,000? So I know we watched a video on this before, and you didn't really get where he kind of made the transition to we don't have $10,000 or $20,000 clients.
No, but we are actually right now. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. We're transitioning from, we've been charging $1,000 for a sales funnel to now I'm telling people it's $2,000. You know, and
5,000. Well, it's 5,000.
It's going to be okay. To be honest, I'm a little hesitant to make that big jump. Even for me, I'm like, okay, that's a lot.
Okay, so but you've had 2 years of experience building sales funnels. So you've worked with a lot of clients.
That's what I was going to talk about. Is
you're a pleasure to work with. You give project management software, Basecamp access. I mean, so like you're there to answer questions. You're knowledgeable. Like, those things have value. So why is it that I mean, even now you're struggling with it?
I mean, I think it is. My guess is that it's always going to be a mental hurdle to jump when you're making a significant shift like this.
But once that first client pays you $2,000,
exactly,
then
you're
you know,
good.
you know,
Exactly.
I charge $2,000.
Exactly. Like I have no hesitation right now telling people it's $9.95 for a sales funnel.
Because a lot of people
because
bought it.
Yeah, people have done it over and over, you know.
And
so
until you
I
get
know
that
that I can deliver that.
Until people get that first client that's willing to pay $1,000 for a website.
It is very hard.
How do you make that jump?
So I think part of it is really knowing is just being able to say the number yourself, without quivering.
Well, why don't we say right now, we charge $20,000 for a sales funnel.
That's right.
We charge $20,000.
Fine, you give me $20,000, I will step up my service. I will do more.
What will you do for $20,000?
I will have people set up I won't do it myself, but we'll write your autoresponders and set them up.
We'll have like 4 or 5 people working for you.
Exactly. You'll have a whole team.
Yeah.
So, and that is another thing to keep in. Oh, I feel like this is all over the place. But part of it is, you have to be comfortable saying it. And when it gets easier, the more that you do it, again, going back to the phone calls, which we didn't entirely talk about, but the more I've done the calls, the easier it gets. And the first few times, it was hard to say the number out loud, even if it was, back in the $2.95 days or whatever, you just have to do it. You have to say, this is my business, this. Step up and stand up for yourself, because as a freelancer, you're the only person who's going to do it. So you have to. And know that your worth is more than just that one service you're going to provide, that one logo you're going to design, or the funnel you're going to build, or the blog post you're going to write. Yeah. There are months, if not years, of experience that went into, that perfectly crafted thing, service, or product that you're going to provide to somebody. You have had to study, you've had to research, I learn things for other clients that I get to bring in to a new project then, and I get to make the funnel look better, be more responsive, have additional features that I didn't know existed a month ago. You're constantly learning and growing, and you're improving your skills. And just because you can do something quickly now does not mean your client would be able to do it in the same amount of time at all. Like, maybe it only takes you a couple hours, but that's because you've had years of practice and training for that. So don't
I think there's a quote
that.
with like Monet or something where he like sketched on a napkin or something, and a woman's like, I'll buy that from you. And he was like, yeah, it's like 20,000. She's like, but for a sketch, and it took you 10 seconds. He's like, no, that took me a year. That took me a lifetime.
Right, exactly.
Learn how to control that,
Yeah, exactly. So know that.
I really butchered that.
Oh no, but we get the gist.
Yeah,
we get the gist. Go look it up, okay?
Yeah.
Find it in Google. Maybe we'll put a little note at the bottom or something. But absolutely, like, you have so much worth and value based on your experience. And don't compare yourself to what other freelancers out there are doing, because there are always people who are at the $5 mark. They're going to be there.
The saying, it's a race to the bottom, right?
Exactly, and you don't want to be there.
So what is the full saying?
Like, you may as well be the most expensive, because otherwise, either what is it? Like, there's nothing good about being the second cheapest. Like, if you're cheapest, great. If you're the next one after that, there's no benefit to you at all. Like, nobody's gonna pick your service. So you may as well be the most expensive then. And you don't have to be that expensive. You can work up however you want, but go for the bigger clients, go for the better clients, the more professional ones, the ones who...
And as you raise your prices, the clients
they will change.
Far more agreeable, likable, and easy to work with, and more professional.
Yes.
Man, the people you're working with now who are paying $1,000, like, they're gonna look like, white trash hillbilly rednecks. No offense to those people, but compared to
the people that would start getting at the $5,000, and even higher.
People who see your service as an investment, and what you're creating as an investment in their business.
Right, exactly.
You want to work with those people. You don't want to work with someone who's like, oh, this is costing me money. No, what you're making for them is going to make them money. It's going to make them more money than they have. And they have to see that what you're creating, if it's $5,000, that you're going to be able to bring at least $5,000 back into their business. That's their goal, right? I mean, no one's trying to start a charity service paying you more money. So they have to have a product also that is worth $5,000 to $10,000.
Well, if you're making like a funnel or a website or something, it obviously needs to be worth it for them. The people who are coming in with
I think we have 2 more minutes.
Yeah, and we're gonna run out. Okay, so there was one more thing I wanted to say. What was it? Oh, it was about having confidence in yourself and in your pricing. And so this was a tip that I did learn in the video that I watched the other day. And that was to really think about everything that you do for a project. And so I tried to do this when I made a new sales page with the higher price for our sales funnel, like really listing out like everything that I do, every page that I make, but on top of that, the support that I provide, the fact that I go through and I mobile optimize everything, like these little details that I take for granted, like of course that's part of the service I provide for you, but that, that's actually a separate detail that is very valuable for people, so think about everything that you do.
Could you list a couple more things?
We have a minute left.
Okay.
I set up the payment processing. I integrate with the autoresponders. I help write copy for a lot of stuff.
Copy's expensive.
It is very,
especially if you're an English major.
It is
like
very
yourself.
expensive. So all these details again that you take for granted, that of course they're just part of the great service that I provide. They're actually, each one is a separate individual and valuable highlight of your service. So list all of those out and charge for those. Okay, so that is a very long explanation and talk about getting started as a freelancer and some tips for you for closing sales without pressure and raising your prices and not working with bad clients and finding great people to work
And if you want to learn more and want to work with us, check out MarketerTribe.com.
Woo!
Awesome. Like and subscribe.
Okay, bye. We gotta go. Hey, if you like this video, be sure to click like and subscribe and check out Marketer Tribe. You can find us across all social media platforms and at MarketerTribe.com. Hey, do you want to win a year of ClickFunnels for free? We are launching Marketer Tribe and we are celebrating with a ClickFunnels package giveaway. All you have to do is enter your email address and you'll be instantly entered to win a year of ClickFunnels plus a one-on-one funnel strategy consultation so we can figure out exactly what kind of funnel you need to grow your business, and then we will build that funnel for you. You will have a team of experts build a high-powered sales funnel for you so that you can really launch your big idea. All you have to do is enter your email address and you are good to go. So go ahead and enter now.